First things first, how are you?
Good, man. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us.
I'm alright, no worries. What I want to start with is you are from Brighton.
Yeah.
It's a very cultural city, I believe.
Yeah.
So how did you find music as your passion?
So we've lived in Brighton for the last 6 years.
Right.
But we're in fact from North London.
Okay.
Until we were like 18. But Brighton it's a really nice small place, and it's really highly condensed with loads of different genres of music, I guess. But it's hard to kind of say what one is predominant in Brighton. But I don't know. I think it's the perfect place because we've been writing our album essentially kind of since we met. Yeah. I guess we met like 10 years ago.
Okay.
But living in Brighton, it's a nice bubble to kind of create it and work it there. It does feel like it goes at a bit of a slower pace than London, at least. Where we're moving back to in 2 weeks.
Oh, so you are moving back?
Yeah, it's the rat race. Yeah.
How come?
Just because
we kind of finished our album now.
Okay.
We're just finishing the last couple of songs, and then we're just gonna start getting our stuff more ready and doing more gigs, and like just need to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you say you met 10 years ago. Do you still recall that meeting?
Yeah. So do we still record?
Recall meeting.
Yeah, the first time you met each other.
It was about like 12 years ago. We didn't go to the same
Okay.
school. We just grew up in like a suburb of London, Random Park,
Right.
and had a little skate park in. But we'd just be, I guess, I don't know, we were just hanging out with our different parties of mates.
Sure.
And then we met, and I think Jay asked if I liked Bloc Party.
Yeah, that was it.
And I said I kind of did like Bloc Party, but I can recall it like yesterday. Yeah.
What's your opinion of Bloc Party now?
I mean, I like the first album. But that was at the time when that had just come out.
I like Another Weekend in the City.
I like that too.
My favourite, the B-side to Weekend in the City.
Yeah. The first and second album are really good. They're really good. Yeah.
But so music was the initial connection between the two?
Oh, sorry. I guess, but I mean, like, there's a lot more. There's better references, I guess, at the time. Obviously,
they're
Michael Jackson or like Fleetwood Mac or someone like this, but it was Bloc Party 12 years ago, I guess.
Sure.
So I think I don't know why I asked about, but I just did. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But at that point, what role did music play at that point in your life?
I think it was kind of quite huge because I think because we go to school together, my immediate mates, the guys I hang out with and the guys Jamie hang out with, they weren't, I guess, so much into music, I guess, maybe as we were. So when
we connected over music.
Yeah.
We weren't surrounding ourselves with people who are musical.
Right.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
We loved making films and music and stuff. So we actually started making like funny ghost story kind of like horror films, short films, like 5 minutes online together, and then scoring some music over it and stuff like that. And then we're like, should we do some music together because maybe it must be easier.
This is when we were about 15.
Yeah.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But so the time between you first meeting and then making music together was quite short.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the first week we were because he had like a little setup in his bedroom, like his home studio. It was it was a nice.
Well, it was a computer with a mic cable with a cable going.
Of course.
And now obviously, now we've done it up.
It was like GarageBand.
Do you still have those recordings?
Yeah.
Do we?
Somewhere. I know I have them.
When was the last time you've listened to
A long time ago. I don't know if I'd want to, but I mean I definitely have them because for me, being able to like record a song was like red letter day. You know, like recording a song. It was, I guess, very second nature to him. So I definitely kept them, but they'll be quite funny to hear back, I think.
So how long did it take them from that point to kind of having the direction you have now? Did you find it quickly?
I guess because we were in another band, and I guess it was a little bit more rocky, I guess. But we're very much inspired by like 80s like slashers and 80s music itself.
John
as well.
Carpenter.
Of course, John Carpenter and synths. And so we just again like in the bedroom, just on Logic, just created some kind of I guess synth.
It kind of started as a bit of like not like a joke, but we were just messing around.
Yeah. And we didn't tell any of our friends about it.
Without saying anything to anyone, because we were in another band and we just sort of started making some music for fun and just like trying things out, and then just went from there.
So there were no thoughts of maybe doing this professionally or
No, it was just like it was just nothing.
When did that turning point come then?
I think when we put one song up online, we were both working full time, so any chance we had to do music or record was kind of like precious.
Right.
And we'd get quite a lot done in our few hours we had free. And I think we put one song up online and it just got quite a buzz around it. And just from there, really, we kind of went and we've just been playing shows and just putting a few more songs up online, just seeing if people like it. But
Which track was this?
yeah, sorry?
Which track was this?
It was called Opinions. Yeah. Where it was, and we didn't even have a name for us,
Okay.
Miamigo, but we had the track, Opinions. And we didn't tell any of our friends. And at the time, I was writing lyrics about our friends, their situations, or family and friends, just so it wasn't so much about us. And it's why we called ourselves Miamigo, my friend. And so I guess that's why we called it Miamigo. So we had the track name Opinions, and then we put Miamigo after that. And then from there, none of our friends had seen it, so it kind of got a little buzz, I guess, on a hype machine or something like that. And our friends was like, "What's this?" I swear, like you're in another band. Because it was just like a joke. So not a joke. I don't want to say that, but it was definitely just fun. Like,
And well, you have that song online then, and there is a buzz. How do you proceed from them? Do you think is that the moment where you think maybe we should take this more seriously, or?
I think it was more the fact that we kind of, the music we were making before, we weren't really like, we were proud of it, but we weren't, well, I wasn't really I wasn't happy with it.
Right.
It was just, it wasn't, I knew we could sort of make not necessarily better music, I thought that wasn't really the right way we should be doing it. And then when we started doing it like this, just making it so in detail, and like really like fine tuning everything, it started sounding more together, and then from there, I think it was from then we knew that what direction we were going in.
Is it difficult, because what you say, is it difficult then to know when to stop tinkering and to...
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, to know, like, because you can go forever.
it's hard to finish a track, because then you're writing new ideas. So you can have a million tracks, but like not like completely finished, like 80%, 50% done. So yeah, it's hard to kind of know when to. It was hard to know when to stop writing the album, I guess.
In that sense, you mentioned you wrote the lyrics for Opinions.
Yeah.
Is there somewhat of a role division in what you do, or do you kind of do your paths cross, so to say?
On the what? On
In producing music, is there a kind of a role division that you have?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We both do each other's complete like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do it. I never write any lyrics or anything.
So I like write the lyrics and the melody, and Jay does complete production. I mean, I'll sit there with you, but you do all the production himself, and I can't do what he does, and I guess
Vice versa.
well,
Vice versa. I don't even know how you say that.
but it just works well because he's amazing at producing.
But that requires a great deal of trust, I
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
So how does a song come together? If we take your EP, Hard to Love, how did that come together? How do you start on something like that? Do you discuss kind of what you want to do on a track?
No.
We live together,
Okay.
so we kind of lots of days are kind of spent just, I guess, smoking a little bit, watching some stuff, getting a bit inspired from whatever kind of takes our fancy that day.
Is it still like what you
It's
said,
still kinda-
slasher type movies?
Is it still kind of what? Sorry?
Slasher type movies?
Yeah, I guess, or even something as simple as like a TV series that we're watching at that time. It can be a cheesy line or something, but it will inspire like a whole song. But I think living together helped because we have an idea, and then like a line to a song, and then later that night it would exist because he'd like produce it, and like he just put
A lot of the songs start with like a meaning or like a melody or like a vocal thing, and then we'll just kind of work. Sometimes it's easier to make a song like that, you know, when you just have like a lyric, a theme of the song.
Or you start with the production.
Well, yeah, it works either way.
I'll
like
come and sing
it's both.
line over it.
But in that sense, do you have certain themes then that you want to address in your music?
Well, I think maybe it's not going to be like a concept album, but the first album will have a concept, and I guess we started writing it over 2 years ago, so we kind of moved on from that.
Okay.
We've written, so we kind of have selected the right, even though maybe there are songs that we prefer now on this first record, we're going to save them, I guess, for another one, because the first one is kind of about, I guess it's hard to say, but it's kind of
escaping from a suburb.
It's like kind of leaving the suburb, leaving not just a suburb, but subculture, or whoever your identity is, or wherever you're from, to, I guess, a dream, somewhere bigger. Do you know what I mean? Like kind of Hotel California, kind of the Eagles, like, I guess.
To what extent then does the art reflect your life?
I think a lot of the lyrics, I don't know, they're quite. They talk a lot about, I guess, where we come from, I guess, and I guess where we hope to go, or like alter egos and stuff like this, and they're quite miserable lyrics, I guess. If you listen to them, they're quite sad or moody. But Jay, I guess, in contrast, you talk about the production over the miserable lyrics.
Yeah, that's what we've always tried to do. It's like make darker kind of undertone themes of a song, but they're masked by like a. It's not necessarily always upbeat. It's just about having like a nice. It's not even dancey. It's just a nice sort of beat to kind of listen to, and like I don't really know, like a poppier side to the song. So it's not just sort of dark and the music's dark and the lyrics. It's a dark theme whilst having an upbeat kind of sound, I guess. I don't know.
In that sense, say you write some lyrics, do the lyrics that you write then influence the way you produce a track?
Yeah, it depends on the song. It really depends. Sometimes it's more difficult than others, but most of the time it's pretty much like there'll be a general theme of the song, and then we'll kind of know what.
Or vice versa, his production will inspire me to write. So if he makes a really dark sounding song or a really tropical song, that would definitely inspire what I write over that. So it depends who starts it.
What is the one track on the album that gave you the most trouble to kind of figure out?
Every single one. No.
I think we're so close to the project, it's hard to kind of wash your hands of it and say it's done.
There's a song that's not released that is definitely the most troublesome. I won't say what it's called.
Why was it difficult?
Just because it's still not done. We've been working on it for ages. No, it's just difficult to get it because I know how I want it to sound, but it's not there yet. But I just don't know what to do with it. But it's almost there.
Finally, then you mentioned the thoughts of where you want to go with the music. Where do you want to go? How would you define success in it?
I mean, today was our first festival. Staying in tent kind of festival that we've ever done. I mean, if we could do this till we're able to, that's the dream. Just playing to crowds like this, and I don't know, it's so weird. I think it's really weird. It's quite overwhelming today, I guess, to be playing so many people because we're relatively unknown as well. So I know you guys play a track on Free FM as well. So to have some people singing along, in the audience when you come to a completely different country. It's just crazy. It's overwhelming, and I don't know. I hope that we just kind of continue doing this and making our music and videos and stuff.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Cheers.